Disneyland is your land.
Come seek an adventure at your pirates, eh?
Make the jump to light speed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Welcome to the Disneyland Beat, where our toes tap to a Disneyland drum.
And we always whistle while we work.
Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm TC. So it has happened to a lot of us. You plan a Disneyland vacation. It's supposed to be fun and relaxing. Something to help you untie all the knots that you've been twisting up in recent months or even years at work and at home.
Maybe you want to create a once-in-a-lifetime experience for your kids, a real trip to remember, or perhaps you're meeting up with extended family for a reunion.
And you've been watching all these cool YouTube videos about every little thing that Disneyland has to offer. And you're over the moon excited to try every single one of them.
You have a huge list of exciting moments planned. You are just sure everyone in the group will want to do all the things on your list. The kids will be so excited that they will, of course, behave like angels, and you can't wait for everything to come together.
But then the trip actually happens. Travel is hectic and stressful. The hotel isn't as close as you thought it might be, or the shuttle doesn't run when you thought it would. And the kids, well, let's just say they're not being angels all the time.
But it'll all be worth it once you get to the park, right? But woe behold, you encounter the park crowds and the long lines, and you find out it might be kind of tough to do everything on your list this trip.
And you find out that even though the parks are open 14 to 18 hours in a day, it's hot. And you walk miles and miles, and it's tough to rope drop and close the park in the same day, let alone do it multiple days in a row.
Let's be honest here, Disneyland can be really stressful. Arguments break out as different members of the group want to do different things at different times, and it turns out your kiddo is scared of costumed characters.
Then the idea sets in that you're paying an exorbitant fee for all of this delightful stress. The plans aren't working out, you feel like you're missing major parts of the park you wanted to experience, and everybody seems upset. Many folks can end up leaving their Disneyland vacation quite disappointed.
Well, we have some suggestions on how to make that vacation work and how to make every day at Disneyland an amazing day. And we think a lot of that starts with you and how you pre-plan.
Though we don't think it's absolutely necessary, we highly encourage everyone to gain some knowledge about what there is at Disneyland for you to do. The best attractions, the special add-ons, the best restaurants and the shows. That doesn't mean we think you should create an itinerary to do all of these things, just that you should be vaguely aware of them.
In fact, we encourage you not to overplan or create unrealistic expectations for your trip. You can build anticipation in your kids for the trip, but don't tell them that they're going to do every little thing they've ever heard of. Instead, let it be somewhat of a mystery, something that will be fun but still unknown and magical.
And that's the real key to making Disneyland fun every time. Not creating vacation expectations that are so huge they can get crushed, nor running around to try and do it all, but rather slowing down and seeking out the Disneyland magic. It's gonna find you if you do.
The Disneyland Resort with its 2 parks, plus downtown Disney and the hotels is huge. If you're only there for 2 to 3 days, there is no way, repeat, no way that you can experience it all, so don't expect to. We think the best plan is to choose a few must-dos, prioritize them, and then not plan out the rest, and explore the parks as they come.
For one thing, it's only when you're not rushing from attraction to attraction that you can really appreciate the details of the park. Plus, that's when the character greets happen. They come out of the woodwork and they're a lot of fun.
There is some planning that has to happen. We think there are 3 incredibly important pre-planning steps. Number 1, you have to purchase tickets and make a park reservation. If you have flexibility in your dates, try for weekdays and off-season weeks to avoid crowds, but realize it's no guarantee. There will be crowds no matter what. It's best to accept that idea and embrace the community aspect of it.
Number 2, you have to plan your hotel well. In fact, this is probably the most important pre-planning step that we think you should put effort into researching. And it all depends on what your group wants and needs.
If you are a group that will spend all of your time in the parks, then stay as close as possible to the main entrance on Harbor Boulevard so you can come and go from the park on your own schedule. If money is no object, stay at a park hotel.
If you're likely to spend a lot of time or a day at your hotel, you might want one with restaurants, bars, and classy amenities on site. And you can find that near the convention center south of the park, as well as a handful of others we've talked about on this channel, like the Majestic Garden Hotel north of Disneyland.
If you're looking for a budget hotel, there are a few. We have a video about them, but make sure you come up with a transportation plan for getting to and from the park so you don't have any surprise costs or hassles.
And 3, the final step, and honestly the least important one, is to make reservations for any of your absolute must-dos and decide upon any major park expenses. Perhaps it's dessert party for World of Color, or maybe you're going to go buy the new umbrella lightsaber, or you're going to build a droid at Droid Depot, or dinner at the Blue Bayou.
And we do mean only the must-dos. If you don't have any, don't make any. Some vacationers make the mistake of making a bunch of reservations for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and other add-on events and shows. Then you spend too much of your day running around trying to get to them on time. It can add a lot of stress and reduce your flexibility to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
Not to mention, we've had enormous luck getting on walk-up lists at lightsaber building or table service locations like Blue Bayou, Lamplight Lounge, or Oga's Cantina. And when you get that walk-up reservation, it feels like you just won something rather special, rather than feeling like you're checking off a box on a chore list.
Okay, so once you get to the park, we have some more advice. One is purchase Genie Plus. This will cost more money per person, of course, $30, perhaps it changes, but the amount of time you save will be well worth it.
No matter what, you're going to wait a lot throughout the day, and we encourage you to embrace that too. This is the time for you to catch up with family happenings, take in the Disney details, have fun with it.
Genie Plus will allow you to make Lightning Lane reservations through the phone app. You get a return time, then you can show up and go through a much shorter line. It's worth it for the occasional visitor.
It also gets you PhotoPass, and this service is well worth it. The Disney photographers are probably better photographers than you are. They know how to get that perfect angle, and it allows everybody to be in the group in the shot. The service comes with the Genie Plus purchase.
There are 3 attractions that require additional costs to access the Lightning Lane. In Disneyland, this is Rise of the Resistance and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and over at Disney California Adventure, it's Radiator Springs Racers.
These cost so much, up to $25 per person for the single ride to access Lightning Lane. We can't in good faith recommend that you should just purchase all of them. Rather, we suggest you plan around these rides. Either plan to wait the line out or try to catch them late in the evening when the lines are shorter.
Both the rides in Disneyland have excellent queues that keep everything interesting as you go. Radiator Springs Racers is a bit more cramped for sure.
Another thought for those on a 3-day trip, purchase Genie Plus for 2 of your days, then on that 3rd day, buy 1 or more of the individual Lightning Lanes.
And remember, the attitude that you're going to be able to experience every single ride and attraction at Disneyland in one trip has a high risk of leading to disappointment. These parks are designed to have so much to do that they keep you coming back again and again. If you embrace that idea, you'll be much happier.
Other advice we have about your Disneyland vacation is to be realistic about your pace. If you're going to get your group up at 6 a.m. and be first in line at rope drop, that's fine for 1 day, but don't try and do that 3 days in a row. Instead, plan to take breaks when you feel you need them, and nap often.
The only way we can both rope drop and watch all the evening shows is to take prodigious naps during the afternoon. Plus, this gets you out of the sun during the hottest part of the day.
You do want to be vaguely aware of some of the services that Disneyland offers for various group needs, like those in the wheelchair, or those in the DAS program, or Rider Switch if you've got multiple kids that don't want to ride the same ride. It's not necessary that you know all those details. The cast members are there in the park to help you figure it out, but you do want to know that they exist.
Something else that will save time and keep things less stressful is to mobile order in-park food through the app. We often do this while waiting in line for something else. It's easy to do, and you can easily customize your selections.
Then you go grab a table and pick up your food, and eventually you're going to get really good at timing all of this out.
We also want to put it out there that downtown Disney and the Disney hotels in general have much better table service restaurants than you can find inside the park. And as a result, they often feel like they have a much better value.
And we also want to talk about money and spending for a moment. We often see people getting very upset about the cost of things inside the park, and we get this. Everything is very expensive. But how you feel about it has a lot to do with expectations.
We highly recommend you budget as best you can. In-park restaurants have online menus with prices, and you can bring your own food into the park too.
If you have those must-do things, you should definitely explore how much they cost before you get there.
And when it comes to kids, our favorite method is to purchase gift cards at a slight discount from Costco or Target, and assuming they're old enough to understand, let the kids budget themselves.
When Leander was a toddler, we'd also bring in dollar store light-up toys and discounted lightsabers into the park so he wouldn't feel left out of the party, but I wouldn't feel ripped off for buying a $30 bubble wand. Things like that can go a long way to making you feel like you're getting a good value for your vacation.
But the best advice and the real secret we offer is to look at your vacation as a wonderful, exciting mystery that you need to explore and discover, rather than looking at it as a collection of experiences you need to check off your list.
And slow down. When you stop walking for a minute at the park, you get to see how the lands come alive in all of their glorious detail, and it comes to you.
It really will make all the difference to having a wonderful Disneyland vacation every time.
Well, that's it today. Thank you so much for joining us.
May the light in the firehouse window always shine bright.
And may your dreams always come true.
See you real soon, Mouseketeers.